We all wonder what happens the moment we die. Is there a tunnel, a light, silence? But for one woman under deep hypnosis, the moment her heart stopped beating was just the beginning of something far more real and unsettling than any dream. She described it like this: I felt myself slip out. No pain, just a whoosh like being pulled from deep water. I looked down and saw the doctors, the nurses, my own body, and I felt nothing but peace. But that peace didn't last. The room around her began to fade. She felt herself moving, not walking, but gliding into a grey mist. There was no floor, no sky, no direction, just a quiet pull, like gravity from a different dimension. This in-between space was disorienting. She wasn't in her body, but she still had thoughts, feelings, memories. She realized she could still sense her identity, but it was expanding. Her life flashed in fragments, not as a timeline, but as emotional moments stacked on top of each other. Then, a strange and horrifying sensation. She wasn't alone. Other presences floated near her, but not all were welcoming. Some souls were confused. Some clung to earth, desperate, trapped in their regrets. They didn't see her, but she could feel their fear. Just as panic began to set in, a force arrived. Not a person, more like a presence of light. She described it as a gatekeeper. It didn't speak, but it radiated authority. It calmed the chaos. The light moved toward her, and suddenly she was being pulled away from the gray zone and into something brighter. Her fear vanished. It was replaced by deep familiarity, like returning to a place you didn't know you missed. She emerged into a realm of pure light and geometry. Shapes, colors, vibrations, everything pulsed with energy. It wasn't like Earth. Time didn't exist. Emotions had colors. Thoughts had texture. There were others there too. Souls. Some newly arrived, some ancient, some quiet and reflective, others joyful and laughing. It wasn't heaven as she imagined. It was something more complex, a kind of cosmic airport, transient but purposeful. And then came the guides. Two beings approached her. Not angels, not people. They were forms of light, fluid and changing, yet she knew them. Deep down, she remembered them. One of them had been with her through many lifetimes. The other was newer, here to support her transition. They didn't ask questions. They showed her. Scenes from her life began to replay, not in judgment, but in clarity. Every choice, every ripple, how her pain had affected others, how a single act of kindness had saved a stranger from spiraling. And then the part that shook her, a vision of how she would have lived if she had ignored her life lessons. She saw herself lost in ego, driven by fear, repeating the same mistakes across lifetimes. She saw others trapped in cycles, souls refusing to learn, slowly dimming, becoming shadows of their true selves. That wasn't hell, but it was close. It was stagnation, emptiness, a soul without growth. Her guides didn't scold her. They gave her a choice: go forward or return, keep learning or pause. She chose to return, to face her life with new eyes, because she remembered what most of us forget, that death isn't the end, it's a doorway. And what waits beyond depends not on what we believe, but on how deeply we've lived. So the next time you feel lost or afraid, ask yourself, what if this moment is part of a much bigger lesson? What if you're not just surviving, but being shaped by something beyond this world?